start with Jon Voight because Jon Voight is a lot of fun, and he has a lot of political commentary. Jon Voight goes on Mike Huckabee's Fox News show, and he starts talking about Barack Obama and how he is poisoning every single one of us. We're all going to die.
Before we go to the clip, Huckabee had said to Voight, hey, you know what? You have a gift that you need to share with the nation. Okay, I mean, it's doing some tough interviewing, Huckabee is on Fox News. So let's look at that gift that Voight has for us.
And John, before we took the break, I said you had a special message for the people of America. I don't know what it is because you haven't shared it with me yet. So I'm going to hear it as the people of this country hear it, but I'm anxious to hear it because I believe you have been gifted with extraordinary wisdom and insight into this nation's particular predicament right now.
He ran for president.
Thanks very much, Governor. This is a letter I wrote, and I'd like to read it for the American people.
Oh, this ought to be good.
Let me just say, in 1 year, the American people are witnessing the greatest lie that is cleverly orchestrated by President Obama and his whole administration. The lie is a potent aggression that feeds the needs of people who either have not educated themselves enough to understand the assault upon us all, or the very poor and needy who live to be taken care of. President Obama feeds these people poison, giving them the idea that they are entitled to take from the wealthier who have lived and worked in a democracy that understands that capitalism is the only truth that keeps a nation healthy and fed. Now, the lie goes very deep, and President Obama has been cleverly trained in the Alinsky method, and it would be very important that every American knows what that method is. It is a socialistic Marxist teaching, and with it, little by little, he rapes this nation.
Jesus.
Taking down our defenses, making new language for the Islamic extremists.
What?
The world, who looked up to us as a symbol of hope and prosperity, now wonders what will become of the entire world if America is losing its power. The American people who understand exactly what is taking place have come together in the thousands, vowing to try to stay together as a unit of love and freedom for all men and women from all walks of life, shivering to think that this once great nation will be a third world country.
Yeah, there you go.
This will be the first president to ever weaken the United States of America. President Obama uses his aggression and arrogance for his own agenda against the will of the American people when he should be using his will and aggression against our enemies. Every loving American for peace and truth and the security of our nation must come out and join the Tea Parties in their states. The opposition will continue their tactics. They will lie and plant their own bullies amongst us. Everyone must pay close attention to who stands next to them. We can weed out the liars and agitators. Let us all stay in God's light. Let no man put us under. We can and we will prevail. God bless us.
All right, so much to say about that. First of all, I don't know what the hell he was talking about with the Islamic extremists. He said, that Obama's raping this nation, and then he said, making a new language for Islamic extremists? What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that have to do with anything?
You know why he brought that in? He just wants to smear him and get people enraged and say, oh, he's not one of you. But his real point is what he said in the beginning. Mm-hmm. He said he's trying to, the poor and the needy who live to be taken care of. Yeah, that's how the poor feel. They feel like, oh, please, Jon Voight, take care of me. I'm just going to sit here and wait for Jon Voight to take care of me. That's his view of the poor, that they're not really working, that they don't care, they don't have any morals. They just live to be taken care of. That's what he said. It's a literal quote. Go back and look at it. And he said, and they feel like Obama's telling them they're entitled to take from the wealthier. Okay. In other words, what Jon Voight is saying is, I want to keep my money. Oh my God, I made money as a dumbass actor in Hollywood doing stupid movies. And I just want to keep it. I want to keep it. I want to keep it. I love my money. And, you know, they're trying to turn us into a third world country. That was the perfect Freudian slip. It's all about protecting his money. Look, you know, people talk about class warfare. Being against the rich is silly. I mean, it depends. What do you mean? I mean, Bill Gates is a guy who started Microsoft. It's a company that produced an enormous amount of jobs. Steve Jobs, you know, the list goes on and on. Doctors, lawyers, you don't have to, engineers. Being against the rich as a category is incredibly silly. Being against the greedy, that's a different situation, okay? And Jon Voight's already got his money. And, of course, the right wing hates Hollywood unless it's one of them. If they got a guy who's conservative in Hollywood, they're so far up his ass. You have been gifted to tell the nation about how Obama's raping us. Go ahead, please, Mr. Voight. No. And then he stokes people by saying, oh, Obama's got an aggression against the American people. We need to weed out the liars and the agitators, right? Remember when the last time they talked about weeding out the agitators? They were the northern agitators in the South, right? All of these words that are meant to trigger rage, you know, along racial lines, along religious lines, throwing in the Islamic extremism for gratuitously, and all so that Jon Voight can keep his goddamn money.
Have you seen all the TYT videos from today? Check out the Young Turks YouTube channel. Do it already.